You're listening to LunaKage and Mr. You Suck's Unnamed Wrestling Podcast.
Hello and welcome to another episode of LunaKage and Mr. You Suck's Unnamed Wrestling Podcast. I'm Mr. You Suck.
I am LunaKage.
Hey, those are the voices you need to keep track of during this show. That's right, there's only two of them, and we both sound pretty different, so this shouldn't be too hard for you. Now will it be?
Is that something? Was that a thing?
No, it was never a thing.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
I highly doubt it was ever a thing.
I could just see the one comment we've ever had in this
Who's
year.
who?
Like, who the fuck is who?
No. We're both very different sounding.
Very different sounding.
Very different sounding.
I'm a lot bassier, and I sound like I've never had a girlfriend. He is a lot more present.
Yes, I've done actual radio work and have had girlfriends.
I mean, I have had girlfriends, if you want to count them as girls.
Those girls. Anyways, we are here tonight to cover the first Raw exclusive pay-per-view of the post-brand split new era. God, that's a lot of things to say. Clash of Champions 2016, the pay-per-view replacing Night of Champions, which... Check me on this, Luna. Mm-hmm. Clash of Champions was originally a WCW pay-per-view.
Yes, and there was actually a gripe I had with the naming. And again, this is me like reading into stuff too much.
Go ahead.
But Night of Champions makes a lot more sense for this kind of
gimmick.
Yeah, because
I feel like I know exactly where you're going with this because I agree.
Every championship is defended Night of the Champions. Mm-hmm. Clash of the Champions sounds a lot more like the champions fight each other.
Exactly. I knew you were going for this.
Yeah.
Because I feel like after knowing you so long and doing the podcast, I'm way more in tune with the way you critically analyze things.
Yeah.
But you're 100% correct.
Yes.
Night of Champions makes it sound like it's all about the champions defending it.
Yep.
Clash of Champions makes it sound like they're going against each other.
With that said, it would be awesome if there was a dual brand pay-per-view called Clash of Champions, where the world champions fought each other, the tag champions fought each other, women's champions fought each other, and the mid-card champions fought each other.
That'd be a lot of fun.
It'd all
be non-title matches.
Yeah, sure. But like, it would be one of those, like, for example, there are some pay-per-views where the world title's not defended.
Yeah.
Like the first ever WrestleMania, the main event was a tag match.
Exactly.
With Hulk Hogan, the current champion, not defending shit, right? It was just a spectacle.
Yeah, it was a tag champ with him, someone else, and Mr. T and Rowdy Piper.
Mr. T, Rowdy Piper, and I believe Hulk Hogan teamed up with... Hulk Hogan teamed up with Mr. T.
Yeah.
Rowdy Piper was with Paul Orndorff.
Okay, because I know Piper and T had a feud back in the day.
Yeah. So yeah, like a pay-per-view where it's like the top 4 matches on the card are all champion versus champion, and maybe just for posterity, you could have the cruiserweight title be defended because now that's a thing.
Yeah.
And there's no, equal champion over on SmackDown for it. But I think that'd be cool if, like, eventually it became that.
I like the idea of it, but knowing Old Man Vince, all the Raw guys would go over, and I'm like, fuck you.
I mean, maybe. That's not necessarily true.
I mean, okay, you know what? It's not necessarily true, because if we look at the booking that SmackDown has, someone with common sense has obviously been working that angle.
Plus, like, Dean Ambrose was the one that won the Shield Triple Threat against 2 Raw guys.
He did.
To take the main title for the last however many years.
Can we just... Okay, you know what? You segue all the time. It's my turn for a fucking segue.
Let's do it.
It's my turn for a fucking segue. And I'm playing your card because you're the Dean mark.
Yeah.
And I'm about to defend Dean big fucking time. So people shit on Dean's first reign.
Yeah.
It's really been a thing. And I understand that post-brand split, I don't think his work rate's been that great.
Okay.
I think there's been some holes in it. I do think the match at SummerSlam with Dolph Ziggler was great, and a lot of people completely discredit it because the crowd was dead, and that's a fair thing because the crowd was dead as shit. Mm-hmm. But people think that Dean's first reign was ass. Dude, he won the Shield Triple Threat.
He did.
He won the Shield Triple Threat.
He did. He beat Seth. Well, he beat Seth once. Mm-hmm. The first defense was a fuck finish. Mm-hmm. beat Seth clean as fuck the next fucking Raw or whatever.
Yeah.
Or SmackDown. It was on SmackDown. And then he won the Shield triple threat. No fuckery involved whatsoever.
No fuck.
Roman Reigns.
He pinned Roman Reigns with a dirty deeds, clean as a sheet.
Yeah. Fucking, then he went on to face Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
And that match, as you said, was good, but the crowd was dead. And it
crowd was dead, but the match was great.
Yeah, and it was probably, the lead up was fucking amazing.
One of the best angles.
It set the tone for what SmackDown was going to be like. Mm-hmm. And then the build up for AJ versus Dean was also awesome. That match was fucking awesome.
Match was fucking great.
And then Dean lost the belt.
Yeah, and then Dean's been a great main eventer ever since.
Yeah.
The thing is, and I understand why people may want to think that Dean's reign hasn't been great, because as much as I hate to say it, so many more important things happened during Dean's reign. The brand split, all of that fuckery.
Right.
His 2 defenses versus Seth were TV shots.
Mm-hmm.
If you gave him the pay-per-views to go with it,
right,
it would have been fucking awesome.
Yeah, I
think his first reign I think in the annals of time, it will be criminally underrated.
Yeah. You're definitely right. His reign was overshadowed by the brand split.
Yeah.
Because, there was so much buzz around the brand split.
Once draft, buzz, the brand split.
Once Dean
totally sucked Dean out of the picture.
Once Dean got the title over to SmackDown, it was okay, whatever. Now who's gonna be who's the SmackDown Women's Champion gonna be? We had 3 brand new titles appear out of the woodwork. Actually, 4, because the Cruiserweight title.
Yeah.
Fucking Cruiserweight title, SmackDown Women, SmackDown Tag, Universal over on Raw. That's a lot of shit going on. So you can.
It's a shame to say, but he got lost in the shuffle because so many new shiny things were happening.
Yeah, and I'm not super salty about it. Dean's fucking way up there for me. He's still my favorite guy as far as his overall package.
Even when he has bad work rate matches that I have to be really critical about,
they still end up good.
His promo work.
Oh my god!
He can have shit matches in his entire career. If he's good on the mic, he's good at the fucking mic.
And I'm big time guilty of fucking rooting for mic guys.
Yeah.
And I love a good match, and I always will. That's where AJ Styles comes in.
Exactly.
But a mic guy, if you can make me feel it, I don't even got to see the match.
The fucking main event scene for SmackDown is just so good right now. Dean, AJ, John Cena.
Yeah, and
it's 3 guys that can go on the mic all day long.
Yeah.
3 guys that can go in the ring for the most part all day long.
I mean, it's Cena nowadays is great in the ring.
So fucking good.
So shit, as long as Cena doesn't fucking leave No Mercy as the champion, I think it'll be perfectly fine.
The thing is, Cena's going to leave Mania as the champion. I can assure you that.
You think so?
Yeah, because that'll be a Mania moment for him to be 16, tie Ric Flair.
I mean, you could say that, but I don't know if they're going to do that.
I think they'll do it. Dude, I think they'll send he's
after the last several Manias we've had.
That he's on the way out. He's on the way out. They're going to give him the 16 to tie Ric Flair.
But if you're right that he's on his way out, why would they have him tie with Ric Flair? What good will that to just have a little asterisk next to Ric Flair's biggest that's the one thing they always mention when he's around.
Yeah.
The 16-time world champion. So if John Cena does that, they'll have to be oh, it's a 16-time world champion Ric Flair.
I see the thing. I like it because I like the build to it.
I mean, I could appreciate that, but I do think our biggest title holders as far as numbers right now. You got Ric Flair 16, John Cena 15, Randy Orton I believe is at 14, maybe a little less.
I thought he was at 13.
He might be at 13.
Is Hunter at 11?
And then Triple H is 11, 12, somewhere around there. So you've got those very hard numbers that are different from each other. So that's I think that's perfect. As in because these were top guys, you know? You don't have to bring up Stone Cold's number when he comes out because he's Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Same with The Rock. They never made it to double digits, but they don't need to.
They don't need to.
But for Randy, John Cena, fucking Triple H, you can throw out that number and be proud of it because it's no one else has that exact number. And I really think they should keep it like that. Aside from just the fact that John Cena being the guy to tie with Ric Flair, just like most fans, doesn't really sit very well. Mm-hmm. I want to believe they're not going to do it. That's what I
could
want
see them doing it, and I could see it working because they've, over the past 2 years pretty much, reinvented John Cena. And he's reinvented himself as someone who's unbelievably good in the ring now. Like,
yeah, he's good.
He's got
really
fucking great matches.
Yeah.
And they're booking him so well.
Yeah. I do think that booking might go out the window if he becomes champion again.
Yeah, it'll be rough.
But fucking that...
The thing is, they booked John Cena to lose clean on a TV show to Dean.
Yeah.
They're booking John Cena is not the John Cena of yesteryear.
I mean, he almost seems stronger now that he can lose, though.
That's the thing.
That's what I like about John Cena, because he is so ingrained in your mind as the guy that can't lose. Every time he loses now, it's a huge accomplishment. Mm-hmm. He could lose clean the next 5 matches, and it'll still be surprising if he loses clean the 6th.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
He's invincible.
He's fucking...
Loses do not
invincible.
affect him.
Like, think about it.
Loses only build up the other guy.
Yeah. Like, if you think about it, his last 3 matches in memory have all been losses, clean or otherwise.
Yeah.
Like, that match against AJ, no, not SummerSlam, the one before that. Battleground. No. That was before that, too.
Money in the Bank?
Yes, it was Money in the Bank. He lost to AJ. It was dirty. He lost to AJ.
Loss.
He won that tag match they had at Battleground, but it was a tag match, so you can whatever that.
Exactly.
Then he loses to AJ at SummerSlam, clean as fuck.
Clean as a whistle.
Now he loses to Dean on an episode of SmackDown, clean as fuck. So it's like, they've been losses, that's great. Mm-hmm. And
I love that, because it puts the fear in, like, your heart, so to speak, that John Cena is not invincible anymore. And that's the story.
And that's the story I want told.
That's the story. That's the story. John Cena is going for the Ric Flair tying championship number with the knowledge that he's not invincible anymore.
Yeah.
That's a great baby face. You can sell me on John Cena trying to get his 16th world championship title.
Yeah.
You can 100% sell me on that now.
I'm cool with John Cena getting 16 title wins at WrestleMania, as long as it's the main event of the show. Mm-hmm. They give like fucking 30-ass minutes, and the champion going in is AJ Styles.
So, I think it won't happen, because you know who's going to be the main event of that show? Triple H and Seth, because Triple H isn't going to give up an opportunity to put himself over.
I don't know. Triple H has been known to fucking lay down at WrestleMania.
He will lay down at WrestleMania. This is true.
Especially if it's for one of his NXT guys.
This is true. He will lay down at WrestleMania.
Like, if it's Seth and Triple H at WrestleMania, I think Seth's going over.
It's the blind lady of justice, where on one half of the pendulum is Triple H constantly putting himself over, and then the other half of the pendulum is Triple H laying down at Mania.
For the guys he wants to get over.
Exactly.
In a way, that makes it even better, because, like, this guy, like, fucking the shovel god, right? Burying all the people. But then it's like, his guys, he will fucking lose to at WrestleMania.
I mean, I'd love to see a Kevin Owens Triple H match, because you're going to see Triple H put himself 6 feet under for Kevin Owens.
And that's fine. And I dig that about him. Like, he's a lot more endearing to me now as this guy who wants his boys to get over in a very Vince McMahon, not Triple H's boys kind of fucking company.
Exactly.
You know? And, like, I mean, you could say, like, fucking, especially, you know, Punk was my last favorite guy. He fucking jobbed Punk out for no fucking reason during the angle where he was the hottest he'd ever been.
Yep.
That shit happens. He also didn't like Punk.
I mean, at the end of the day, Triple H is Triple H. And unless you're one of his boys, he's looking out for himself.
Yeah, and his boys.
Yeah, it's him and his boys.
He will put his boys over.
The thing is, at least Triple H has good taste on boys. And that's why we, as shitty fucking smarks, enjoy this. Anyways, 15 minutes in, we've had a good long segue. Let's get to the actual pay-per-view.
Okay.
Clash of Champions.
Do we have to? Can we just talk about this for another 45 minutes?
Honestly, we might as fucking well. Clash of Champions 2016 pre-show. Nia Jax beats Alicia Fox. I didn't watch it. You didn't watch it.
I watched it, but...
No, I watched it, but I didn't watch it.
Yeah, you're right then.
Yeah, I watched it, but I didn't watch it.
I think I was on my phone for a majority of the match.
I will be completely honest. That's me for the first couple matches of this pay-per-view.
I think I was on my phone for a lot of the good matches too. I really didn't care for this pay-per-view.
I had zero give a shit.
Yeah.
Zero give a shit for this pay-per-view.
And that's basically how I felt. Not necessarily that I thought it was bad or was going to be bad. It's just like, I am very clearly a SmackDown guy right
exactly. now. It's not that we're biased towards the underdog babyface promotion.
Yeah.
It's just that Raw gives us exactly zero fucking reasons to watch it.
Yeah. Even with all the good shit it's got going on, like Kevin Owens is champion, Seth's fucking babyface push right now.
Yeah. Baby.
Oh, dude, he's there.
He's the baby face.
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm mad that the heels turned on me. I'm still the same guy.
That's how a lot of baby faces are nowadays, man. Like
that's true. I mean, I'm not expecting Hulk Hogan to show the fuck up anytime soon.
Right.
But like, I feel like
nor do we even need something like that.
I feel like we could at least use it somewhere on the card at this point.
I mean, even on SmackDown, like fucking John Cena is the closest thing we got, and he's still like fucking talking shit to the baby faces and shit.
Fuck, SmackDown's so fucking good. Jesus Christ. It's like they put all the people with talent on SmackDown. I fucking love it. God,
it sucks saying that because when you think about it, we got Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins.
I don't care about
Sami
these people
Zayn.
on Raw anymore. I'm sorry, they're all done.
Isn't it weird?
I know. I love
these guys, but it's like you're on Raw. This is not my team.
Give me SmackDown. Give me fucking SmackDown.
Like, I've never been so hyped.
Baron Corbin.
Right. I've never been so hyped for fucking Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz. Did you see that segment?
No, I catch the. Okay, so I actually can't watch SmackDown anymore because I have to be driving and picking up my little brother around that time.
Damn.
But I catch the recaps and I catch like the reviews, and from what I hear, it's just the fucking greatest thing.
Dude, fucking like The Miz and Dolph Ziggler now have a match going into No Mercy that I can say I'm hyped for.
Yeah, because it's like Ziggler wins or Ziggler retires.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, that's great.
Yeah, and like we care about it because we just saw that they had a great ass match.
Great.
When we weren't
match.
expecting anything from them.
Now we're expecting a great match. We'll probably get it.
I hope we do.
Better.
Because I know now, like, as much as I've been shitting on The Miz for fucking life.
Yeah, exactly.
I've never liked The Miz. Never.
Now he's great.
Now I'm hoping for more things out of him. Because like now he's got my attention.
It took him too long to do it, and there's a lot of fucking pitfalls. But now he's, dare I say, elevating the Intercontinental.
And I can't fucking believe.
I can't fucking believe it.
I can't even fucking believe that I'm giving in and saying this
I've always
shit.
saw the potential of The Miz, but it's always been on the mic only. And now he's out there. He's like,
he had a good ass
fucking
match.
Backlash match. I was like, who is this? Who subbed? Who tagged in?
Right?
For The Miz today?
And I'll tell you what,
this match is great.
If they
and
go
it's
out
not
there,
Dolph Ziggler. It's actually The Miz.
I mean, Dolph's was good too, but
yeah.
If they go out there and do that again at No Mercy, then I will now know that Miz can be one of my guys.
Yeah.
But they're on thin ice because if they go out there and have a shit fest,
they drop the whole fucking ball.
Yeah. So this is
the pressure's on. The pressure's on. Dude, I'm so excited for all these SmackDown pay-per-views. I fucking love it. Meanwhile, we're trying to review a Raw pay-per-view.
We're like going on 20, 23 minutes. And
18 minutes and a half, and I don't give a shit about Raw. We're still talking about. We haven't even made it to the main card. We talked about the pre-show and we gave a shit.
We talked about Nia Jax.
Nia Jax killed Alicia Fox after a couple of minutes. Who cares?
What I can say that was good about this Nia Jax Alicia Fox thing was that little build up thing that they showed.
Oh yeah, the backstage vignette.
Yeah, where Alicia Fox flipped out. You could tell very accidentally hit Nia Jax for real with something.
Yep.
Like was concerned.
She threw a box from the concession table.
Yeah.
And it hit Nia Jax in the face, and you can tell she was like, oh shit, I didn't mean that. And credit given where credit is due, Nia Jax rolled with it and then just super heavy pushed Alicia against the wall and through the table.
Yeah, but the best part about it was Alicia realized that she's supposed to fucking, realize that she's on camera and this is supposed to be like her not giving a fuck about her. She's like, oh my god, actually I don't care.
Yeah. It was so strange because at least that was like the one thing like, hey, Nia Jax did her job correctly.
Yeah.
And props given where props are due. So there's that. It was fucking awesome. In the worst way possible. That backstage vignette was hilarious.
I've never thought Alicia Fox was as cute as she was in that very moment, though.
It felt very Attitude Era. Like, something wacky happened backstage. and they just ran with it.
And now we have this match on the card. Yeah, there you go.
Exactly. But anyways, Clash of Champions proper. We start off with... insert city here, because I don't remember where the fuck they were for this viewing.
They're in my room as far as I care.
Exactly. New Day versus Gallows and Anderson. I have 0 notes for this because I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it?
I didn't care.
Dude, New Day are your guys, too.
I know. No, Haley was like, hey, you want to play Hot Shots Golf? And I was like, yeah, I want to play Hot Shots Golf. I'll play Hot Shots Golf.
And you probably went to the Bone Zone afterwards?
No, I watched the rest of this. After nine holes of Hot Shots Golf.
9 holes, I bet.
Jesus Christ. After 9 holes of Hot Shots Golf, I watched the rest of this, but I tell you right now, I already knew what was happening. Yeah. They've name dropped Demolition's 400 whatever.
Oh shit, did they?
Oh, they've been name dropping it too much. New Day's gonna break it. They rightfully deserve to break it.
I mean, they are basically the ones that almost single-handedly revived the division.
Exactly. Not only did they single-handedly revive the division, they made Raw watchable for all of 2015.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they get to break the World Tag Team Championship set by Demolition, more power to them because they deserve it. Yeah. Straight up, they deserve it. So and sadly, that means I've checked out of this division because I know they have to do it.
Yeah. I mean, the match was still good, though.
The match probably was good. The thing that I had it on. I was still listening in. They did finally, a year too late, name the New Day finisher. the enhanced big ending is called the Midnight Hour.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. I like that name.
Yeah, it took me a second to understand what it was about, but midnight means that it's technically the start of a new day.
Yeah.
So, at first when I heard it, I was like, well, that's kind of a little edgy for New Day, isn't
exactly,
it?
Right?
The Midnight Hour?
The Midnight Hour.
Fucking Dragon of the Darkness Flame? But then I thought about it, and I'm like, okay, that's clever. That's the kind of name I like.
Yeah.
Plus, they're all black, darkness.
Jesus. Jesus! Yeah. So that's that match. They retain. They have a way more interesting match on Raw the next night where Kofi gets his face busted wide open.
Are you sure it was more interesting, or did you just watch that one?
I watched that one. It was more interesting.
I thought for sure that was going to be the day they lost it.
No,
because after I heard the pay-per-view night was $3.99, I'm like, losing it at 400, nice ass round number, you know what I mean? But then they retained.
No, so. They have to go for it. The thing is, the tag division was floundering for so long.
Yeah.
They single-handedly made it relevant. If there's 70 more days of it being in the floating category, go ahead.
And I mean, 70 days is going to pass nothing.
Nothing. And you need to build the division up because there's nothing around the division right now. So why pass the belts right now?
Yeah.
Just stop the Gallows and Anderson program. I know you can't because it's so thin right now.
Yeah.
Let New Day coast. Let them break the record. Then they lose it. Then they just become a faction.
Yeah.
And you're all good from
there. And
there.
especially now that you got another tag team division on SmackDown.
Yeah.
You don't have to put all your eggs into this basket.
Exactly.
The only problem is fucking Gallows and Anderson need something.
They need a lot of something.
They need something. And the New Day, with as great as they are, it's when you put Gallows and Anderson on that show, it's fuck.
The thing with the feud that I didn't like was Gallows and Anderson were trying to face New Day on their turf. And what I mean by that is that Gallows and Anderson were trying to become comedy acts to combat New Day, and it did not work.
I mean, some of the stuff was funny, though.
It was, but
Doctor.
I mean, there was humor involved.
Pulling out the different sized jars for testicles and shit.
There was humor involved that was good, but for the most part, it felt like a dick measuring contest in the worst way possible.
Literally.
Yeah.
Doctor.
Doctor. Not to say that the Gallows and Anderson aren't funny and that they don't work off each other very well, but there was a certain, like, who can be the better stand-up comic aspect instead of who can be the better wrestling team aspect.
Yeah. I mean, in a way, it was kind of refreshing to see that because, like, up to this point, like, the tag teams that have gone against the New Day have, like, been berating them for being like that.
Yeah.
And, like, just being, I'm super serious, super tough guy. And, like, I think the feud with Gallows and Anderson was both. Because it's like, they're serious, they're tough, but they could also be funny.
Yeah, but the program also ran way too long and no one gave a shit.
Yeah, that's because, like, what are the other tag teams on Raw?
None.
Yeah. Like
you want them to go eat the Shining Stars for breakfast?
Oh my God, Shining Stars.
No.
They need Carlito back before Shining Stars does anything.
Jesus Christ, on a bicycle, do they ever?
And, like, then you got fucking Enzo and Cass.
Yeah, who they should be getting the belts at some point.
They might be the one to finally dethrone New Day. Like a nice little face versus face thing.
I would love it.
Yeah.
I would be okay with it. That's to say that Vince isn't like, Big Cass, he's a mastodon. Give him the Universal Belt.
Maybe.
I mean, it's
like
he's main evented a couple Raws.
Yeah.
At least 2.
I mean, now that fucking Roman is safely in the mid card.
For now.
For obviously, for now.
For now.
Fucking winning titles, baby. Fucking, yeah. Like, now I could potentially see that. Big Cass getting a little singles push.
And the thing I do like, I will say this, the thing I do like about the thin rosters, this is a very critical idea, the thing I like about the thin rosters is that when you have an opening in the main events, you just put your mid-card guy in there.
Yeah.
Your mid-card champion goes to the main events. And that makes your mid-card belt look that much more impressive. They've done it on Raw, they've done it on SmackDown, and both times it's been very effective.
Yeah.
So fucking keep with it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with that in that regard.
Like, I think the shows overall have been better, even with Raw still not being as good.
Still being shit is all shit.
I still think it's been better than it was.
Mm-hmm. It's still hard to fucking watch.
Oh yeah, 3 hours of that.
Fucking Christ.
And then you got Stephanie.
Let's not get into it. Anyways, next match on the card. Cruiserweight champion TJ Perkins versus the Brian Kendrick.
Also, fun fact for you, TJ Perkins, also former TNA guy.
Yep, also former TNA guy.
He wrestled under the mantle of Manic.
Yep, he had
who
the
was
mask.
the former Suicide, who I thought was actually way better with that name. And especially I hated the way they fucking changed his name too. Like Hulk Hogan comes out. It's like, hey, you stole the ring gear of Suicide, who is now Manic, by the way, is how the name change happened.
Thanks.
By the way.
Thanks, Hulkster.
But that's who he was.
Yep.
He was good back then. Took over the mantle of Suicide when the guys who had previously did it were fucking Christopher Daniels, Kazarian, guys that were like amazing. So like he was able to handle it well. So when I heard that he was in the Cruiserweight Classic, I'm like, TJ? The fuck? Babyface TJ? And like it sucked that he wasn't in the gear, but I mean, Manic is literally a TNA property. They invented him from the ground up. So they're not going to have that. Especially a guy named Suicide running around on the roster.
Yeah, you can't have that. Vince is pretty picky about some things.
His finishing move's name, at least before he became Manic, I forget what they changed it to afterwards, was called the Suicide Solution.
Ooh.
Like, holy shit, how edgy is that?
That's good.
I loved it. The inner fucking 12-year-old in me was like, dude,
Dog.
that's sick shit.
Dog.
Yeah, so TJ Perkins, I know he can go. I know Brian Kendrick can go.
Yeah.
So I like the match.
I didn't watch it. Sorry. I was probably somewhere around hole 6 of Hot Shots Golf.
Hole 6. Yeah.
But I was very interested when they announced TJ Perkins and his theme song was this unbelievably poverty Mega Man fucking theme song with video game references, and I was like, that's it. He's over in my book.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. I love him.
I did not expect that because I didn't watch the classic, so I didn't know.
No, I don't think they had anything about that. In
really?
The classic. I don't think so.
That was also his debut on the main roster.
It was. It was. They need to work on his Titantron a little bit, but other than that, boy, is that a good gimmick. Give him, because his Twitter name was Mega TJP.
Yeah.
So like he's obviously got that Mega Man influence on the reel, and CFOS or whatever the fuck you pronounce the in-house music producer for
CFO. Yeah.
CFOS. because there's the
CFO dollar sign.
CFO dollar sign. They put their fucking work in on making a Mega Man song that referenced Mega Man 3 opening theme without horrendously ripping it off.
Right.
And fucking give me that shit any day of the week.
Yeah.
So it's like, he's over my book, baby.
So, fun fact about this too, you might not have realized because you were on like hole 7. But during the Cruiserweight match, they changed the color of the ropes.
Yeah, it was to purple.
To purple. So they're going like all in with like this different division thing. Yeah. And I dig that.
I do like that sense. From what I've heard by listening to a couple of podcasts, they cut the Cruiserweight Classic matches out of the Hulu version.
Really?
Yeah, because the Hulu version of Raw does not get all the matches.
Oh, okay.
And so, like, when it comes to cutting matches, they already started cutting the Cruiserweights.
Well, I mean, like, that makes it so that, like, hey, you gotta watch this in order to see this.
The people who watch Hulu don't watch it.
I mean, fuck them then. Shit.
Yeah, it's just a shame. It's just
like, the whole point of, like, not being able to see it online is that we're gonna cut out the excellent shit.
No, they usually keep the excellent shit and they cut out the weak shit. Like the people who watch Hulu, they don't get the Nia Jax or the Braun Strowman matches.
Oh, okay. Well, regardless, from what I kind of see it, like them putting the extra special attention to the detail of having the ropes be purple and shit, like it's really making it feel like it's its own specialized, segregated division as opposed to like how it used to be where it's like, yeah, you had the cruiserweights, but these guys were basically just like the jobbers who get beaten by regular stars every day, and we're just going to have them in their own division.
Yeah, I want it to be successful. I want it to be successful because there's a lot of fucking talent there.
Yeah.
But time will tell.
Right.
And this is Raw. And the big dog is on top. Soon enough. Anyways, Cesaro versus Sheamus, best of 7, match 7.
Yeah.
I took notes for this. You know I had an emotional investment in this.
Yeah.
And it did not pay off in dividends. I think they did a fucking terrible job.
Okay, so what's funny about this, right?
Oh my god.
Before the match even started,
Yeah.
I noted, because me and Brian were watching it together.
Yep.
So I noted to him, I was like, they keep mentioning how the winner is going to get a championship shot, right?
Championship
they don't mention,
opportunity.
Yeah, they don't mention if it's the Universal title. They don't mention if it's the U.S. title.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I bet you what's going to happen is that no matter who wins this, the next night on Raw, Mick Foley's going to be like, you know what? I loved you two so much that you guys are going to get a tag team opportunity.
I had more faith in that, and the thought never crossed my mind.
Dude.
But in retrospect, I was a fool.
I was like, dude, I bet that's going to fucking happen. Lo and behold, on Raw, they're together in a tag team. And I'm like, that's going to be New Day's next feud.
I was hoping that so I don't like this feud to begin with because it was very rushed. They had a match on the house show that counted towards the canon.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. They played their hand a little too much with Sheamus going up 3.
Yeah.
And then Cesaro has to win 3 back, which means you know what's going to happen. I would prefer it if it was 2 up, 1, 1, 2, so you don't know that, he's got to win 3 in a row because this is a fucking fake sport. So we know that's how it goes. Give us a little bit of excitement on how these things work out.
I think, in all honesty, even though I agree with you, I do think that them doing it that way was kind of okay if they're trying to work the smarks, I guess you could say. Because it's like, if everyone's guy is down 0-3 in a best of 7, and Sheamus the one who's up 3, like, all of us jaded fucking smarks are gonna be like, they're putting Cesaro on the fucking ground. What's he gonna lose? Fucking 4-1, 4-2, maybe he'll get 3.
See, I disagree because I feel like the easy booking is you put the heel up 3-0 and then you have the babyface do the big babyface comeback.
And I mean, just like, you're definitely not wrong. And like I said, I don't disagree, but I feel like that's what they were going for.
I feel like if they actually had the balls to work the smarks and puts Sheamus 4-1, but I know they didn't. Because the thing is, when you look at the booking decisions made by Raw, it's ballless.
It's ballless.
There's no testicle fortitude on these booking
No
decisions.
testicular fortitude.
So I was like, Sheamus goes up 3. Well, Cesaro's going to go up 3 next. And then we're going to be tied. Give me something to want to watch. Give me a 2-1 to tie 2-2. Put Cesaro 3-2. Sheamus beats his ass and comes back, which means and then you do this 6th match as an injury match. That way, when you're going into the 7th match and Cesaro's big time injured, then you have the big babyface come. Give me something a little bit more cerebral.
Yeah.
Don't just tell me Sheamus is going up 3, Cesaro's going up 3. We've made it here. Just
if we're talking about balls, though, like you got to be careful what you ask for, because Raw having balls, is having Roman Reigns go over in the main event of WrestleMania.
I know.
So they've had balls in the past.
That's Roman going over in the main event of WrestleMania, and every other babyface except Zack Ryder losing.
Yeah,
and then Zack Ryder lost the next night on Raw.
Right.
It was bad. Anyways, I was hoping that Sheamus would win. And then Cesaro gets a contract at SmackDown Live. It didn't happen.
Damn.
But this is actually a pretty good match. There's some really inventive moves from both men during the match build. Sheamus hits a rolling kick while Cesaro's against the turnbuckle. It's really kind of hard to explain over radio, but he's running at him and he grabs the rope and he rolls over the rope as he's going and kicks Cesaro in the process. It's really cool looking.
Yeah, they really did pull out all the stops. Sheamus especially.
This was a good match, and it made Sheamus look good.
I feel
everyone in this match looked good. Both parties.
I feel like Sheamus saw the Miz's match and was like, I can be the Miz for Raw right now. I can be the
better mid-card fuckboy.
Yeah, I can be the guy that fucking comes back like the Miz was. I feel like that's kind of what...
And I'm not opposed to Sheamus having some sort of feat to him.
Yeah.
I think Sheamus as a heel has footwork.
Fucking the bro kick, dude. You keep mentioning feet.
I know.
It's really hard to avoid the pun.
I'm sorry. But there's potential as Sheamus as a heel.
Yeah.
Sheamus as champion versus Roman Reigns, that was fucking dog shit, and we all knew it.
Yeah.
But there's potential in there. I think there's potential in there.
I mean, now that the Miz happened, fucking anything's on the table for me.
Yeah, really. So, continuing on with the match, Cesaro tries to hit a 619 on Sheamus. He pretty much does, but...
Yeah, it just wasn't as fast.
I mean, okay, so there's a full, 11-inch difference between Rey Mysterio and Cesaro.
Yeah.
And the fact that someone who's bigger and taller than me at Cesaro's 6'5"?
Yeah.
The fact that he tried a 619 is more than enough to put the entire fucking crowd over.
Yeah.
Dude, you're fucking massive.
Yeah.
And you almost pretty much put a 619 in the other dude's grill.
Yeah.
The crowd's gonna fucking react to that shit. Someone's working hard on this match.
I was just Rey Mysterio confirmed when that happened.
Exactly.
It's well, he's coming back. Time to blow out his knees.
He's over at Lucha Underground. He's in the main event over there.
Oh, he'll be back.
He won't be back for a while.
All that shit's pre-taped.
Yeah, that's 10 months ago. That's it, right?
He probably needs money at this point. He's like, fuck, all my bills.
They said they're already taping season 4 over at Lucha Underground. I don't know.
It's like you got. He's thinking, fuck, all of my bills are WWE sized. Yeah. And I'm working Lucha Underground.
Oh man. Sheamus is obviously working the back, but the most impressive part is where he does a Razor's Edge drop into an Irish Curse backbreaker.
Yeah.
Sheamus does a really good job of working the match in terms of storytelling. Really fucking good job.
Yeah.
He actually does a really good job.
That was interesting to me because one of his signature moves is called the Celtic Cross, which is just a Razor's Edge powerbomb.
Yeah.
So when I saw him do the Razor's Edge, I was like, okay, he's about to do a Celtic Cross. Then he drops him on his fucking knee. You know? Yeah. So I was like, ow.
Not to mention, Cesaro is selling absolute fucking death.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of death, Cesaro does a tope. And something along the route went fucking wrong.
Yeah.
Because Cesaro looked like he was going to do a top rope dive flip. And so he started to tuck for a dive. And that dude landed directly on his fucking head.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a little bit of a tuck in the shoulder, but Cesaro is lucky to be alive.
Jesus
and the
Christ.
next day on Twitter, he's like, No more topes. Meanwhile, Big E is still doing this fucking spear through the rope. Cesaro had one close encounter with God himself, and he's like,
no.
No, we're done here. We're done.
No.
No more suicide dives. Which is the correct response, because too many motherfuckers are doing suicide dives and topes, and none of them need to be doing it.
Yeah, and Cesaro definitely doesn't need it because he's got so much more offense.
Exactly. Cesaro does not need to devaluate himself to a mid-card move to get people over and murder himself when he can just do good shit in the ring. And
dude, he gets over just by hitting people with uppercuts.
Exactly.
Like, you know how hard that is to accomplish in modern day fucking wrestling?
Exactly.
Like, oh, he's doing strikes. Mm-hmm. Fucking who cares? Cesaro, he does strikes. Holy shit. We need more of this guy's fake punches.
Cesaro's the goddamn best. It's a criminal shame. Cesaro, once they get back inside, Cesaro kicks out of a brogue kick and gets a quick snap offense with a big boot, a clothesline, and a neutralizer, but Sheamus kicks out.
Okay. Now, I might be wrong. I might be. But almost 100% positive that that's the first time the neutralizer's been kicked out of.
I wouldn't doubt it, because the neutralizer gets used so very, very rarely.
That move has been so protected. Like, every time Cesaro doesn't win,
it's
he
been
never
protected
uses it.
in the worst way possible, because Cesaro never gets to hit a finisher.
I mean, yes, but still. When you think about how many of the main eventers he's had feuds with and lost against, that they didn't kick out of his finisher.
Yeah.
That's fucking impressive.
It's just that he never...
Like, AJ was here for a month before people started kicking out of Styles Clash.
Exactly. It's terrible. I mean? It's terrible in that regard. The camera botches it, but Cesaro uppercuts Sheamus out of the top rope, nothing, to the outside. They have a replay to show it correctly, and but while they're doing the replay, they miss the white noise that happens on the floor. So, good day over in Kevin Dunland.
Yeah, I mean, Raw.
Yeah, it's right. Both men get dumped over the barricade, and there's an extended doctor spot. Officials stop the match under doctor's discretion, and both men sell being half alive pretty well. Props due to Sheamus, as he is completely unable to support his own weight when there are 4 referees trying to get him to the back.
Yeah. Funny thing about this too, Brian, I swear, I don't know how he can watch what's going on in the ring ever, because this motherfucker pays too much attention to the crowd, right?
Yeah.
Like, the whole fucking pay-per-view is like, look at that fucking guy.
He's always looking at the crowd. He's always looking at the crowd.
So for this spot, if you notice, when they did that spot where they flipped over, one of the guys in the crowd got kicked in the head, and he's down and he's selling too.
Well, he's not selling.
Well, I'm pretty sure that was not necessarily a plant, but not a guy who was actually a crowd member. You know what I mean? So because he was down selling, and the whole time Brian's like, the doctors aren't even looking at that guy. Yeah. I'm like, well, he's probably not a fan, Brian. If he was, he'd be fucking out. The doctors are
probably paid to look at the wrestlers first,
right? And even so, if a dude really got taken out by 2 wrestlers that was a fan, he wasn't on their payroll.
Yeah.
He would have been fucking out of the shot immediately. Fucking some of the real doctors would be like, oh fuck. And they would have taken him to the back, be like, are you all right? Sign this paper that says you won't sue us, shit like that.
Yeah.
The fact that he was on camera selling for just as long as fucking Sheamus and Cesaro, there was no way he wasn't on their payroll.
Exactly. So anyway, Cesaro hops back in the ring to try and goad the nearly dead Sheamus back to finish the fight. It's a shit end to an above average match, and it correctly detailed the story of 2 big motherfuckers with killer physicality.
Yeah.
Sadly, the next night on Raw, Mick Foley's like, well, you guys tied in the best of 7. I'm going to make you a tag team.
Yeah. So
fuck all of that.
Making me a great prognosticator.
Yeah, but I hated it.
It's probably the biggest word I know.
I'm going to the bathroom.
All right.
Fuck, I'm so mad just rereading the goddamn match. I'm so goddamn mad.
We might have to actually edit this out. Did Micah leave me? Yeah. I think so, yeah. Dang. I feel bad because I wanted them to come and hang out, but then we ended up doing a podcast. So, oh well, at least least he got to play fucking new Mewtwo.
Are you guys done with the podcast?
No. Jay had to use the bathroom. So hopefully he remembers to edit this part out.
It doesn't knock down. It only staggers them.
Standard. I don't know what these songs are because it's all in Japanese. I don't speak weeb. Like you as well. I might as well fucking go to.
Alright, we're back. Or at least I'm back. Luna's going to be using the bathroom now. But that was, if we're going to cut it solo for a second, I'm exceptionally disappointed with the way they've used Cesaro. I know his contract might be coming up soon. And if he ducks out of WWE, I would A, not be surprised, but B, completely disappointed. He is a main event talent in the ring. And while his mic work is not the greatest, I think he's one of the few guys that really deserves it based on his ring work. I think he could be a main event draw, a main event, crowd pleaser. But on the other hand, it does show the difference between someone who could maybe, like Dean Ambrose, be a mediocre ring worker, but a top-notch mic performer, and that makes him a main event talent too. So, there's that to encounter as well. Hey, Luna, welcome back.
What were we talking about?
I was mentioning Cesaro as a foil to Dean Ambrose, where Cesaro's in-ring work is non-stop A+, but his mic work's not the greatest.
Yeah.
Whereas Dean Ambrose, I love the guy cheers. His work rate isn't the greatest, but his mic work's always fucking amazing. And there's a reason why I feel like Dean Ambrose is a main eventer, because when you have great mic work, that makes you a main event guy.
Yeah.
Cesaro, they feel like his mic work's not the greatest, so I feel like they've just held him back the entire time, despite the fact that he can get the fuck over with any crowd based on his ring work.
And that's special,
it's fucking special.
Like, Cesaro's ring work is like so good that it's not just good from a technical standpoint. Mm-hmm. It's good from it's part of his charisma, Like he got over because he was good in the ring. As a babyface, you know what I mean? Like, when he was heel, he was getting pops because of shit he did in the ring. And, it's not like he was doing fucking 450 splashes off of fucking balconies and shit.
He's just great in the ring. He's just one of the most talented ring workers you have.
Yeah.
He should be a main event guy.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on, we have Sami Zayn versus Chris Jericho in terms of the indie feud versus the indie best friend feud. Fine enough build to the match, but honestly,
this match was literally
botches.
Like I used to be Kevin Owens' best friend, and I'm currently Kevin Owens' best friend.
Not much to really say about this match. There's a really goddamn silly spot where Jericho has Sami in a superplex tease. Sami blocks, so Jericho just falls backwards, flopping on his face, kicks out his feet so that when he's falling off the turnbuckle, he falls face first. The camera then pans up to Sami as the announcers start giving out about this being Sami's opportunity. And there's this tense build, but then he just does a top rope nothing and Jericho rolls away from it. And you're like, well, that was a big waste of a tease, but thank you, I guess. I mean, give him a fucking, top rope axe handle. Fucking something, Jesus.
Right. Jericho
hits a lion salt that's a little too low for the camera to catch, that Sami had the knees up. Sami hits a tornado DDT that was really sloppy. He actually, it was a two-part tornado DDT where, comes off the ropes, lands, then does the DDT instead of, it being one fluid motion.
Yeah.
But that's got nothing on the through the ropes DDT because Sami is going with, I'm no pro. I don't know who's at fault here. Sammy came through the ropes, through the rope turnbuckle tornado DDT with unbelievable speed. Yeah. And I don't know if Jericho was able to catch him in time, but he came through the ropes and they went tumbling.
Ooh. I don't think I saw that.
Okay. So, Sami Zayn does the outside, like...
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I know that.
Runs through, jumps through the turnbuckle ropes, grabs the opponent, does a tornado DDT. Yeah. Usually it looks unbelievably fucking amazing.
Yeah, I've never seen it not.
This was the one case where it was not. Because he's going through either he's going through at way too much speed, or Jericho was not prepared to catch him.
Yeah.
Whatever the case was, Jericho was not balanced correctly, and he just tumbled backwards when Sammy hit him. And eventually, as they're falling, they're able to barely scrape a DDT out of it, which saves it. But, it was rough looking. They attempt finishers on each other. Sammy nails a killer blue thunder bomb, but Jericho kicks out and hits Codebreaker for the win. Who cared?
It's really disappointing.
It was a really disappointing match. I don't know why Jericho won.
Because he's going to get a shot at the title.
But I don't.
Yep.
Sammy needs a win.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, Sammy should have been in the cage match with Owens.
Yeah.
Because it feels like it's going to be a triple threat.
Yeah.
It should have been Sammy. There's really no reason why it wouldn't.
Kevin and Sammy have an amazing match, at the last fucking
Battlegrounds.
Yeah, and then it's okay, you put Owens in the cage with Seth instead.
Putting Owens in the cage with Seth is fine, but if your plans are to make it a triple threat, why would you ever in a million years choose Owens, Seth, and Jericho over Owens, Seth, and Sammy? Not to say that Owens, Seth, and Jericho is going to be a bad match, because it's not. That's three great workers right there. But Owens, Seth, and Sammy, that's a barn burner.
Yeah.
So it's just thanks guys. Sammy really needed the win, and you could have put him in a main event match, but now Sammy's going to go back to teaming with Neville or whatever the fuck they decide to do with him.
What's the next pay-per-view for Raw?
Hell in a Cell.
Oh. Yeah.
Or as my friend calls it, Heck in a Keck.
God damn it!
That's really good, isn't it?
I really shouldn't have laughed at that.
I know.
I found it so adorable.
Heck in a Keck. I love
Heck in a Keck.
Heck in a Keck.
Top Keck.
Top Keck. Bayley versus Sasha versus Charlotte for the Raw Women's Championship.
They should really call it the Going in Raw title.
Great spot early on where there was a triple synchronized dropkick spots. There's an amazing bit where Charlotte is put up against the turnbuckle by Sasha. Then Bayley exploders Sasha into the opposite turnbuckle, and it looks like you're going to get one of those Bayley spots where she hits each of them with a move.
Yeah.
Repeating like they normally, like any other match does.
Right.
But Bayley hits Charlotte with a springboard elbow and then goes immediately for the pin. And it's just holy shit. That makes perfect fucking sense.
Because she wants to win.
She wants to win. You've got people in both corners. Why hit both of them? Just hit one of them and try it for the pin. Yeah. Holy fuck. It makes sense. That's why Bayley's amazing. However, later on, much later on in the match, she does get the opportunity to do the opposing corner spots, and she goes for the crowd pop in this location where, once again, she hits someone and then go back and hit the other someone.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't have any notes. The match was really fun to watch, and it was just an enjoyable experience. I think all three girls worked very well together. As we all know, they're three of the four horsewomen, so they have the ability to work very well together. Charlotte, however, wins with two big boots. She big boots Bayley, and Bayley runs against, and Bayley falls into the ropes, which Sasha's on the other side of, so Sasha gets dumped to the outside. Bayley rebounds, and Charlotte hits a second big boot to Bayley, and that knocks Bayley out, and Charlotte gets the pin off of that. Yeah. So a little bit wacky of a finish, I guess, because two big boots, usually not the finisher you're looking for.
Right.
But Charlotte goes up to 12-0 for pay-per-view records, retaining the championship.
Wait, 12-0?
She's 12-0.
But she can't be, though.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you're right.
Because she lost
the title on Raw. Fuck.
She's 12-0 on pay-per-views.
Well, then.
They do not take the Flair last name lightly at WWE.
Which is why John Cena's not going to win.
You know what? You're not wrong.
Bringing it back to the brand that matters. I can't believe, like, I thought Raw won the women's division so hard when Bayley, like, fucking came over.
You'd think.
But it's like...
Bayley merely took the life support off and put them in stable condition.
Yeah, but, like, fucking... The SmackDown women's division's looking pretty good.
Oh my god, SmackDown's great! Shit's fucking great! I love it! I fucking love it! It's wrestling I want to watch!
Yeah.
Anyways, Rusev versus Roman Reigns for the United States Championship.
Ruru versus Roro.
Ruru versus Roro. Big show men. We got 2 actual heavyweights out there doing 2 actual heavyweight shit.
Yeah.
And it felt really good to have an actual fucking heavyweight match. I'm not gonna lie.
It is the United States heavyweight title.
Yeah. For the most part, however, the crowd does not fucking care about this match.
Well.
Most likely because Roman's in it.
Mm-hmm.
Dueling Roman chants are weak and lifeless. CM Punk chants are strong and loud. The crowd is a murmur of disinterest. However, Rusev is the only one keeping this match together, trying to build the crowd, selling like a goddamn monster for the Superman punch. Commentary does a great job selling that Rusev is busy being mad instead of putting Roman in an accolade, you know, doing the whole like heel stop around thing. Oh shit, you should put him in the accolade instead. Roman hits a highlight reel A+ spear because Rusev sells like a fucking monster for it. Lana pulls the ref out to stop the count, which gets a big pop from the crowd, most likely because Roman was about to win, so they're like, thank God for not letting that happen. The ref throws Lana out and the match continues. Unlike last time, Rusev immediately slaps on the accolade on Roman after a near fall, but Roman, in his baby-faced fervor, is able to power out and hit another spear that Rusev sells like a goddamn king. Roman gets the 3 and is crowned the United States champion. But truly, the real champion in this match was Rusev. Because this dude put Roman over so hard. He put everything into this match on putting Roman over. And it worked, because when Roman got the championship, there was resounding cheers. But Rusev, unbelievably talented.
Yeah.
He was the MVP of this match. Obviously. I mean, anytime Roman goes into a match, the chance of the MVP being the other guy is pretty high. Rusev was fucking on fire for this match. It was his job to put Roman Reigns over, and by God, he was going down heaven or, like, hell or high water on getting Roman over.
Yeah.
And he did a great fucking job. But now Roman's the United States Championship, so they have a 35-minute who gives a shit match on the next night on Raw. No one cared. We'll see what happens after this. It's a thin division. Let's get real.
Yeah.
Big dogs got belts. Anyways, main event for the night: Seth Rollins versus Kevin.
We're almost done.
We're done. We're almost done, dude.
Yeah.
This was Backlash, but with 100% less caring.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens for the Universal Championship belts. Early on, Owens kicks Seth in the hamstring, and it makes a great popping noise. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It was like, he kicked him in the hamstring, and somehow they made a, like, noise. Like, to simulate the fact that something was dislocated. I don't get how he did it, but it was great. It was fucking great. So Seth is selling like a madman. Seth's just fucking selling. Owens is going after the knee like a goddamn beast. It's fucking great. Owens sends Seth flying over the ropes in a massive back body drop. Seth crashes hard. Owens is frantically asking the ref, is he okay? Is Seth okay? Can he continue? And then he runs off the apron and does a Foley elbow. Bless your heart. But don't do it again, because there's a reason why Foley had a hard time walking for a while.
Right.
Like, you don't do elbow drops off the apron to the ground. Just don't do it anymore. After a million years of Owens healing all over the place, Seth rebounds from an Irish whip with an extremely well-sold lariat. Seth kind of blows his selling of the knee after a while, none more so than picking up Kevin Owens, of all people, for a backbreaker over his bad knee.
What, you saying he's fat?
I'm saying he's fucking fat, dude. I'm saying if you're trying to sell your knee, don't drop Kevin Owens over the bad knee and not sell it.
Right.
Seth's great. That was a bit of a mental misstep.
Right.
You're trying to sell this knee, don't drop Kevin Owens on it. Seth clears the announce table, and one of the announcers just fucking bolts over the barricade. This was great. It was like the Spanish announce table. And normally, like, when the announce table's getting cleared off, the announcers just kind of back up.
Right.
This guy fucking bolted over the barricade. Way to sell it.
Yeah, I mean...
That guy's the champ. You fucking sell it like, oh, I don't want anything to do with this. Right. Get the fuck out of here.
I mean, if this is the Spanish announce table we're talking about, then they've got good reason.
And they're just, we're out of here.
Yeah.
Where are my minutes? Owen catches a springboard knee for a pump handle packaged back breaker. I don't know, the camera didn't catch all of it, but it was inventive as hell. There was a superplex tease that led, my apologies, to a top rope gut buster, and it did not go well. It was sloppy as all hell. Owens, it looks like they didn't release at the same time, and so like Owens was trying to like pull Seth back into it as they were landing. Seth injured his rib. He was injured.
Oh, that's how it actually happened?
That's how it happened. It was the top rope gut buster that injured Seth. Seth was out on injury. He didn't have a good showcase in the next Monday Night Raw. He will probably be cleared to wrestle. It didn't look like there was anything damaging, but like it was a rough bruising, if anything, a rough internal bruising. It did not go well.
It's a night of botches today.
It was
sorry, clash of botches.
This pay-per-view was botch heavy. There was a lot of fucking botches. This one and the Sami Zayn Jericho match, they were rough matches.
Yeah.
Shit did not end up going the way it was planned. Seth is selling the rib cage, so it worked out well. Owen starts the big tease for the announcer spot, does the suck it to the ref, and then does suck it to Seth, but goes for a senton and completely whiffs, going through the table all by his lonesome.
Yep.
Jericho runs in to cause distractions. Seth hits the pedigree, but Jericho puts Kevin's foot on the ropes when the ref isn't looking. Ref gets bumped, and Seth gets a 15 or 20 count off a pedigree with the dead ref. Jericho and Seth squabble before Seth suicide dives onto both Jericho and Owens. Seth, at a very opportune moment, comes out to send a replacement ref as Seth enters the ring and gets completely railed by a Papa Powerbomb. Owens gets the 3 for the retention. The crowd was not alive for this match, but I thought this was a great main event match.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where like there's a certain pacing of match where it's about a 7 or 8 out of 10. Because a 10 out of 10 match, you don't want run-ins.
Yeah.
And if it's a 5 out of 10 match, a run-in is the only thing that's saving it.
Yeah.
But if you hit a 7 out of 10 match, and there's a run-in, it adds tension.
Yeah.
And so that's what this match was. It was the perfectly above average match where when Jericho ran in, it added extra tension and like it felt better because of it.
Yeah.
And so I really liked this match. And that was about it. I mean,
so that's all. It was good.
That's about it. Clash of Champions, dude.
Yeah.
So let's go. Let's do the really obvious question. Mm-hmm. The really obvious question. SmackDown Live Backlash versus Monday Night Raw Clash of Champions. What was the better pay-per-view and why? Go.
Jesus Christ. It was Backlash. Like, what the fuck? I mean, we just explained for like an hour about why it was better. Like, I mean, shit. Like, what is there to even say when you had Backlash? Like, listen to our previous episode and then listen to this one again, and then you can see why we liked Backlash better.
Yeah.
Than this one. Like, and it's not like this one was bad necessarily.
It wasn't great.
But it wasn't great.
It wasn't great. It was okay.
Yeah, it was watchable, but I think Brian kind of summed it up. Like, he's like, there was way too much fuckery Like, a lot of matches kind of ended with, like, bullshit.
The endings kind of came out of nowhere. There wasn't a great build to an ending in a lot of these.
Yeah.
But it's just SmackDown Live had traditional, effective booking.
Yeah.
In some cases, the babyface won when they needed to win. In some cases, the heel won over the babyface to get heat.
Yeah.
It's basic wrestling. Shit works.
Yeah.
There's great matches. Everything was great. Clash of Champions? Was there a title change on this program? The only title change was the U.S. belts. And you can put your Roman conspiracy card in the air if you want to. But the matches were kind of botchy and fuckery.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel, it wasn't exciting. And the only person that won was Roman.
And I mean, it also, I don't know if this is a big reason or not, but it doesn't help that there was a pay-per-view 2 weeks ago. And it was Backlash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, right now, it's kind of setting the pace to where it's like, the real pay-per-view right now is a SmackDown pay-per-view, and this was the halfway point to it.
That's exactly what it felt like, because Backlash was great, Clash of Champions was mediocre, and in 2 weeks from now, 1 week from now,
Yeah.
from the time of this recording, we've got No Mercy, and I can tell you right now, I'm excited for No Mercy.
Yeah.
I'm fucking excited.
Yeah.
That's going to be a great pay-per-view, it looks like.
That's what it looks like.
And then Hell in a Cell is like, well, maybe it'll be a great pay-per-view, but I fucking doubt it.
Yeah.
I'm excited about SmackDown shit.
And it's great.
Yeah, and Raw's ass. Raw's ass. Raw ass.
And it's so disappointing because you do have, like, the main events of both, like, fucking Raw's ass, but John Cena's in the main event on SmackDown. You know what I mean?
It's the fucking Bizarro world, my man.
But our champions are two indie guys.
Bizarro world.
Like, it's a very interesting time to be a wrestling fan.
Oh my god, it's wacky as shit. Wacky as shit. Anyways, that'll kill it for us tonight, because fuck, we're not going to continue talking about Clash of Champions. We barely talked about it to begin with.
Yeah, what time are we at right now?
We're at an hour and 6 minutes.
God, and most of that, well, not most of that, but a good portion of
15 minutes at least.
that
18 minutes maybe.
was spent talking about fucking Backlash.
There was just nothing to talk about this. This was the complete typical run-of-the-mill Raw pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Do you know what Raw booking looks like? Do you know what Raw matches look like? Congratulations. Here's 3 hours of it.
Yeah.
It's Monday Night Raw with higher stakes, and no one cared.
Yeah. And, like, it feels really weird because SmackDown right now feels a lot like a higher-level indie show.
Yeah.
A little bit. Like, fucking, for example, NXT obviously is what it is. SmackDown seems like the next logical step after NXT. And then you have the full-blown WWE Raw. You know what I mean? So it's like SmackDown being that middleman, introducing more WWE stuff to what NXT is, but not taking what the core of what makes NXT enjoyable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a combination, a perfect middle ground to like Raw and NXT. So it really does feel like the Raw pay-per-view Backlash, it felt a lot like a longer NXT pay-per-view.
Yeah.
With,
a 3-hour takeover.
Yeah, with featuring WWE stars. And I kind of like that little hierarchy they got going on there, because it's like SmackDown is something that anyone can watch. Mm-hmm. Including guys who are only in it for star power, because you got John Cena on the show. So it's like, Raw is the kind of thing that only hardcore WWE guys can watch, because it's like,
I feel like hardcore WWE guys would just get bored.
Well, I guess we could say hardcore casual WWE guys.
Dedicated casual.
Dedicated children. The children. Chitlins. They could watch. They could watch it. It's really hard to watch Raw when you work full time.
Because you can watch a better show with an hour less of content.
Yeah, because it's like, this is 3 hours.
And then you can watch Talking Smack.
Talking Smack. If you want to hear more Smack talk, you get to watch Talking Smack.
And from what I've heard, Talking Smack is really good.
Really? I haven't seen it.
From what I've heard, the shit that happens in Talking Smack is actually worth watching. There's some good fucking promo work done on Talking Smack.
Fuck. I mean, maybe it's
Fucking hell.
Maybe that's the unseen SmackDown third hour that's worth watching.
I think it's only half an hour.
Really? Okay. Well, fuck.
It's fucking WWE learns its lesson. It has brevity.
They're just putting their eggs in the SmackDown basket and just
Hey, we'll try some
"Let's
new
fucking-"
things. Let's have some concrete, concise entertainment.
Yeah.
What a fucking novel concept. Anyways, that's it for us tonight here. LunaKage and Mr. You Suck at Unnamed Wrestling Podcast. We will be back for No Mercy, the next SmackDown Live exclusive pay-per-view, which will probably be good. And, yeah, I mean...
So we are just doing this right now then.
Shit. Well,
The 2 pay-per-views a month?
fucking probably.
Well, fuck. I know you weren't super up for it.
I wasn't super up for it, but I mean, I can tell you right now, we'll probably do the SmackDown ones, and we might phone in.
This one was kind of phoned in.
It's only an hour.
This one was kind of phoned in.
I didn't do it after the day after the pay-per-view. We did it like the Friday.
Yeah, I mean, we like...
We don't care.
Well, I mean, you wanted to do it,
Yeah.
like, the day after the pay-per-view.
But I couldn't, yeah.
But, like, remember how I said I couldn't because I
Yeah.
wasn't available? That was a lie. I just didn't want to watch Raw and then do a podcast
That's fair.
and then work the next day.
That's fair. That's really fair.
And I figured telling you that wouldn't upset you because you're like, I feel you.
If you had told me, I don't want to watch Raw, do a podcast, and then go to work the next day, I would have been completely fucking honest. I would have been like, that's fucking fair. That's way fucking fair.
I mean, hey, it got done. And I was a little worried because today at work I was like, man, me not doing the podcast on Monday might have fucked us up.
No one cares about this shit.
And then right after I thought that, I got the message from you saying, hey, we going to do the podcast of Casuals? I'm like, yes, let's do it.
Let's do it.
You got it.
Anyways, this is Mr. You Suck signing off.
The only LunaKage.
That's right. You can follow us at Twitter at MRUSUK and at the only LUKA.
LUKA. Luka.
LUNAKAGE.
Yep.
The only LunaKage.
Yeah.
Shit, you'll see the name and the way it's spelled on
It's
YouTube.
not a Naruto reference.
Not a Naruto
I fucking promise.
Hey, he's had this shit in a while.
I fucking promise.
Anyways, that's it for us tonight. We'll see us at WWE No Mercy. Not WWF No Mercy, the video game. That's it for us tonight. Catch you later, crew.
Bye.